So I am going to do an eye look with my Linda Hallberg Cosmetics Daybreak Palette. I've already used quite a few of the shades in here, but I want to kind of bring together my final thoughts because I still don't know how I feel about it. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to use an eye primer, and what I'm going to use is actually the Danessa Myricks Blurring Balm in the Universal shade. So I'm just putting that on my finger and running that over my eyelid, both eyes. I want to have like a smooth base, and I feel like this balm really does smooth things out quite a bit. Now I am just going to use my finger and go into this shade Haze. I'm tapping that on. Oh, let me bring you in a little bit. So why don't we focus on this eye, and then I'll do the other eye off camera. But I think next what I'm going to do is go into this shade Still, and I'm going to use that. It's sort of just this neutral color to blend things out a little bit. And now I'm going to go into this blue shade Air. Still using the same brush, and start to blend that into the outer area. Okay, I think I like it better when I pack the shade on. Gives it a bit more opacity rather than just going in and blending with circular motions. I think packing gives it what I prefer. Now I'm going back into that kind of duochrome shimmer. Actually, since I used my finger, let's try it with a brush. Here is a Sydney Grace brush. It's just like got a flat brush head. I don't see much of a difference. Why don't we try spraying the brush with some setting spray and see if that does anything. Got like a creamy texture. I think I'm going to go into this lavender shade. That's the name and a very apt description of it. And then I'm going to go into this this shade here, Inhale, and I am going to tap that right in the center. I'm taking this LA Girl Ultimate Liner in Never Ending Navy, and I'm using it to line my upper and lower lash lines. Right. Now I'm going to go into Silhouette and Chili. That is the black and the gray. And I might use one of them for liner, but first let's put silhouette here on the bottom lash. This is just with a dry brush. And then let me find a liner brush. I'll use this one from Sydney Grace. I'm going to spray it. I'm going to go into just the corner of Chili, which is this gray here. I don't know that I've ever done a gray liner, so I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, so what do I think of this Linda Hallberg Daybreak palette? Now, I had been really excited to get this palette because I wanted to try something from the brand, and I was attracted to the color story, even though it's not one that I would typically be attracted to. Main reason is, although there are pinks and purples in here, which I love, this is way more cool toned on me than I would generally go for. I do appreciate that the black and the gray can be used as liners, though I tend to use eyeshadow as eyeliner if I feel like it, or I just use a liner. So that doesn't necessarily mean much for me in terms of selling me on the palette. I do like the shimmer shades. I feel like they're very pretty. Like, that's the main word I can think of. Very pretty, very ethereal. With that in mind, to get like the full impact or some opacity, you do have to layer. They do seem to layer pretty well, but if you are someone who likes that immediate kind of punch to your shadows, I don't think this is gonna do that for you. Well, if you're of my skin tone or deeper, it could be different on a lighter skin tone, but I don't know because I don't have light skin. So it's an okay palette. I would, if we were giving it grades, like, it would pass the class, but it wouldn't be stellar. Definitely wouldn't fail the class. So it's a good, like, C average. Like, as they say, C's get degrees, right? So it's an okay palette. I don't dislike it enough to get rid of it. Like, I actually want to keep playing around with it. It feels different. Like, the texture of the shadows feel really creamy, but not like slippery creamy. It's almost like a dry cream. So with some of my other cream shadows throughout the day, I'll notice I have creasing, and I don't notice that with these shades at all. They stay on there. They stay the way you put them on there. No creasing or anything. No like collecting in crevices or anything like that. So I really like that. I think there's just, you know what it is? It feels like there's a bit of, although it's creamy, the shades look a little chalky and ashy on me, and I think that is because of my skin tone. I'm not quite sure. So I'm super ambivalent about this palette. I'm not ready to just like toss it or declutter it or anything. I do want to keep using it. I don't feel like it's at the top of my list in terms of interest. I think I was way more interested in it when I saw the pictures and stuff online than when I got it in my hands. I know a friend of mine on Instagram, Eliza, her handle is Looks in Pans. She also got it. She has a lighter skin tone, and she was like bleh about it. She isn't really enjoying it much, and I think she ended up like switching out some of the shades with other shades in her collection that she feels like fit better. So I don't know. I wouldn't say to get it. I definitely wouldn't say to run out and get it at all. If it's on sale on a good, like super duper discount, maybe give it a try, because maybe your experience is going to be a lot different / better than mine. But I think I have to say I was a little disappointed. It didn't knock my socks off, didn't make my toes curl. It's just okay. So let me know if you've tried this palette or anything else from Linda Hallberg. I think I feel pretty, like I have a powder, I have the powder puff, I have this palette now. I think I feel pretty good in terms of I don't think I need anything else from the brand. I do enjoy the like aesthetic of the brand. I like their Instagram and things like that. But I won't be running out to get anything else from them. But I do still want to play around with this palette and kind of see, you know, if there's maybe other ways of applying things or other ways that I can enjoy it and like it a bit more. So hopefully some of that was helpful. Make sure you are still taking care of yourself. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.